Hello, I am Professor Zargar Zahoor, ex-Dean, Faculty of Fine Arts, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. In this module, I am going to demonstrate how to paint snow, water and mountain. In this module, it is one combined landscape with three different parts that can individually be treated as landscape. Let's begin. First choose black poster color which is gauche, opaque. And draw few lines to divide the plane of which I am going to paint. The lines will divide the plane into three parts to get an idea where horizon will be and where vertical division will give an idea for placing something like a tree or a mountain peak. To start, I have taken a grey pastel sheet as the base. The base is painted overall with bold strokes of white colors. Don't be afraid of bold patches. You don't have to cover the entire sheet with pure white, but just bold patches, leaving hints of grey background too. The white patches on the base will serve as a reflective surface and provide variation in the depth of colors. The colors will be applied in layers. After white, take magenta color, thinned with water. Paint with that in the upper sky area, then blue color in the middle. Begin with thin strokes. Provide depth with slightly deeper magenta in selective areas. Mix it with background color. The colors will also get mixed with the white applied earlier, so the density of the color will be reduced and it will mix well to produce a smooth color. Apply colors in layers until the desired depth is achieved. Use pure white for snow and then give depth in the shadow areas of snow with magenta color. If perfectly done, depth provides 3D effect in the painting, which is actually a 2D thing. Besides magenta Persian blue, apply some more white for showing highlights in snow selectively. Since the color gets mixed with the color earlier applied, you have to wash the brush and take fresh white color almost every 2-3 patches. Once the highlights are done, take deeper blue to show deeper shadows. Remember, the shadows are always created in the opposite direction to the light coming, hence here the shadows will be opposite to the sun rays falling on the peaks. Notice how deeper blue is applied for shadows at the bottom of the mountain. This also provides scale to the size of the mountain. After applying deep blue, take white again and repeat it where highlights or pure snow are to be shown. With practice, you will get to know how to control the effect of tones, and any unnecessary tone may be suppressed. An advantage of gouache is that you can overlay several coats of paint to suppress any overdone area, thereby enabling you have greater control over your painting, where mistakes too may be corrected. Selectively applying very light magenta and light blue to sky lends variety and interest to sky. Now, having done most of the initial work in the upper two-third area, shift focus to the lower one-third area. This area is basically where I am going to paint water. To start, apply patches of Persian blue. Commonly called deep blue or navy blue, in the area where water is to be painted. Over these blue patches, you have to paint with white. Remember, the color application is very selectively done. You need to visualize which area needs lighter tone and which area needs darker tones. Where you think it should be lighter, you have to apply white and vice versa. Notice how such areas are defined with the right color and shades. More patches will cover the deep blue areas, but this time the color being applied is very light blue, not pure white. With this light blue, a wave-like pattern is created all over the water body in the foreground. Repeat application of white patches and light blue until the desired wavy effect is achieved in water. Since the sunlight always comes from a particular direction, the area facing the sun will be lighter and the rest will be darker. The snow appears stark white where the light directly falls on it, hence, the area is snowy peaks facing the sun must be kept stark white at some places. Hence, some white patches are applied again on the snowy peaks, which should be stark white. Then some white and light blue is applied with water in the foreground. Cobalt blue, or better still a mix of cobalt blue and turquoise blue, is taken to paint the deep blue water. Also paint with slightly lighter tone in the lower area of water which will form the place. Turquoise blue is to be applied in the sky for making clouds like shapes at some places. It should be similar to the tones in the water. Why? Because the colors that you see in water are always a reflection of sky. So there should be similarity between two areas. Add some grey patches too in the sky and merge them with the rest so as to produce a beautiful soothing effect. For this purpose, I prefer using yellow ochre in combination with a little bit of green, both thinned with water, to create my own grey tone that is a bit warm in tone, rather than using a ready-made grey which is cool, but you have to be cautious. This color can be very strong and can easily mark your otherwise good attempt so far. Some grey-brown color is applied in the water too, primarily to balance the color of the sky as well as make it look more natural. Add a few white patches of white for floating snowflakes. How much snow you want to show in water is your own choice, and with experience you will come to know how much is too much. This grey subdues the harsh color too. Hence you have to be judicious and need some practice. Using this thinned grey brown tone lends warm tone to the sky here and there, else the sky may look a bit too dull. Please note that several hues of blue have been used. For example, cerulean blue, turquoise blue, cobalt blue and Persian blue. Using each has a purpose and provides different impact. There should always be an area or a subject in any painting that should get more attention. An area that is more dominating than the other. This area is known as the points of focus or center of attraction. In this painting, we have three peaks, so I will keep the center one dominant and also one before it on the left. Almost the dominant, but will diffuse the other two on the right, so as the main focus remains on this area. Light magenta color is the color of my choice for diffusing the colors of the other peaks. Now I again turn to water. Taking turquoise blue, I apply patches in water. Try to notice how the colors are balanced with different hues. Transition of strokes is very important. To move from one stroke to other stroke, from one value to other value, one color to another color, you need a lot of practice and experience. You can see that the center peak has the brightest snow as well as darkest shadows on the opposite side because we need it dark there. If you feel the dark tones are a bit too dominating, suppress them a little bit with milder blue tones. Now take dark blue and paint it dots or small patches in water body. This will provide perspective and interest in the composition and also create harmonious colors all through. At this stage, we are approaching to finishing our painting and few final touches are to be given. Paint some big floating snowflakes, but remember to balance the mass in overall painting. Apply small patches in water. Note that the patches applied now become smaller and the color is less contrasting. More matching to the rest. I am painting snow in patches of color as the painting is more of an impressionistic style rather than realistic. Some dark blue patches provide more depth in water. It also helps create sense of perspective besides depth. Taking just a little water and brush, I mix the patches of colors. Note how the small blue patches are mixed with the help of water only. Without having any need for additional colors. One of the important rules of good composition is that the eye should move around the subject and preferably it should have a diagonal movement. In order to achieve that, I am going to paint a cluster of clouds near the top left corner of the sky. Since lower right hand corner in the foreground has snowflakes and is more prominent, painting clouds in the diagonal direction will take the eye diagonally. Middle peak, which was the most prominent earlier, also falls in the same line of movement. Thereby, all three are almost equally prominent and peak with snow, clouds, and snowflakes. I start with dulling clouds and sky with the same grey, brown, and blue colors. As we knew, there has to be some area of greater importance or prominence, which in this case is the snow peak. We have to diffuse the other two areas, that is clouds in the sky and the snowflakes in water. I take cobalt blue and paint the patch just above the first peak. At first the patch will be too strong. And we need to make it more harmonious with the color of the rest of the painting. Now some final touches are to be given. Grey brown patches here and there in water body. Some white patches more for snowflakes floating in water and highlights in snow-clad peak. Especially the center one, which we want to make more prominent. Make it a practice to step a few feet back and take a thoughtful look at the painting. once you complete a particular area to some extent. You have to repeat this step 3 4 times. Sometimes more often, depending on the intricacies of the subject. Stepping back and looking at the painting from a distance will give you much better idea of how accurately you are achieving the effect you look for. Rather than when you keep painting it till the end looking only from a close distance.